Unlike some Let's Players, you notice that I don't talk very much about my personal life. Oh, I should explain that this is a seed that Bebop Box, I hope I said that right, recommended on his Minecraft Monday channels. He really is very informative, and if you would like to learn some really interesting things about Minecraft and the way people are playing it, the videos they make about it, animations, songs, world downloads, maps, games. There's he featured another fully functional computer in Minecraft this week. I highly recommend that you subscribe to his channel because you'll learn a lot. Well, he recommended this seed. It's just dollar sign, and I couldn't resist it because apparently it has two villages. I think I've already stumbled across a dungeon. There's a ravine, and because my game isn't loading very well, I think I see an abandoned mine shaft in a hollowed out place in the earth between my spawn point and the village. So I suspect I might be right on top of a stronghold as well. Mm, you see how poorly it's loading, how I was still seeing void, and I cut out a lot of it because it took about 3 minutes for it to begin loading, and I could not move for about another 30 seconds. And about another 40 seconds of video was just about useless because it's so jerky and laggy. I don't know if it's my internet connection. I don't know if it's Minecraft. It doesn't matter. I don't talk much about my personal life because of my personal circumstances and because living alone and being in a small town where I am not a native and I'm considered an outsider, and so therefore I hate to say it, but from a lot of people's perspectives, I'm perceived as a threat because I'm different. If they knew how different, they'd truly hate me and might cause me harm. So I'm a little afraid of the people I live around. I've my neighbor next door threatens to kill me and to kill my dog. He I live in a 30-foot travel trailer, which is also called a caravan. It's broken down. When it rains, it leaks in here. When it snows, the snow melts and it drips on my bed. I don't have running water. I have to use a garden hose outside. My my neighbor has infested my house with mice first. The cats took care of that. Then it was fleas. I took care of that. And now it's cockroaches. I have a Coke sitting over here in the dark, and I put a teapot lid on it because it's dark, and the cockroaches will sneak out and get in the glass. And if I pick it up to drink it, I'll have cockroaches on my face. I'm working very hard to eradicate them, but it's extremely difficult. I've torn up my entire kitchen and removed cabinets and door fronts and drawers and put down boric acid and cleaned as well and thoroughly as I could. And I'm putting down little traps, little disposable like picnic cups that have a little bit of fruit juice in the bottom. And I sprayed oil around the rims, inside the rims of the glasses, so the cockroaches can get in to drink the liquid, but they can't climb back out. I don't even use my sink. See, my pipes got frozen. Whoever owned this before I did didn't store it properly and didn't drain the water out of the pipes, and so the kitchen pipes are broken. My toilet still works. Um, it looks like my shower stall water will go down into the sewage, but I don't use running water here because of the burst pipes, and I can't get to them. They're inside cabinets, and I'm an old person, and I can't get down on my knees and dig out the pipes and replace them, and with what money? So I live without running water. I just fill old cat litter jugs and old like windshield washer fluid. People at the Family Dollar down the road, they buy windshield washer fluid there, and then they throw the jugs in the trash barrel out front. And I collect them, take them home, and rinse them out, and collect water from a garden hose in the trailer park I live in, and hide it around the yard so it won't look too unseemly. The yard, it's the place I'm supposed to park my truck. I put in a little children's swimming pool with fish in it and plants, and I used fish poopy water to fertilize the plants. And I grew a little garden, and I grew part of my garden is out in the alley on common public space. The town came through to mow the weeds, and the guy very carefully went around my garden so I wouldn't cut it down. A police officer came and took pictures of it because she likes sunflowers. She'd never seen real giant sunflowers. She'd only seen these little wild ones that we've got around here. They got imported from Russia somehow. But she'd never seen. I have sunflowers out there the size of dinner plates. She'd only seen them, the size of teacup saucers. So my little yard, I call it. I don't park my truck next to my trailer. I park it in a parking space in the lot. so that I can have a garden and my fish pond in the so-called yard. Um, I bring the jugs in the winter so that I can still bathe. I heat them up in a little. It's a Cry Daddy. It holds about a half gallon of water. I plug it in and heat it up, and then pour it into a soup pot in the shower stall, and use a like a fruit juice pitcher, an iced tea pitcher, to pour it over my head and bathe. I can only do that about every 2 or 3 days. In the summer, I bathe more often because it's hot. Um, because it's hard to haul the water, and it's a very tiny space to bathe in, so I just take little in-betweenish baths. I haven't had a shower in about 5 years. Uh, in the winter, the jugs that I bring in, the water jugs that I bring in, it gets so cold in here in the winter that I will wake up in the morning and the jugs will either be partially or totally frozen, the ones that I've left sitting on the floor. Uh, the last couple of months I've had some tremendous repairs, for me anyway, to do on my truck. One month it was over $200, and then this past month it was $300. Well, my income's only $730 a month, and that's my Social Security disability check. And I get $3 a day food stamps, and that's my food budget. Um, I'm too young to qualify for something like Meals on Wheels or senior lunch programs or anything like that, so I'm just pretty much stuck. And out here in a rural area without a vehicle, that's pretty life-threatening. So the mechanic was very kind. He did the work that was required. He basically cheated himself out of about $30, and I trust him. I believe that he's telling me the truth because he's done some other things for me for free. He had my car for about a month. He had my truck for about a month, and I had to walk in town in the hot summer, pushing a baby stroller to collect groceries and that sort of thing. The best grocery store is in the next town 20 miles away, and I couldn't get there. Cooking is a problem if I don't have running water and can't wash up counters, and plus I don't want to cook in the house if there's cockroaches, and so I've been cooking outside. I have a little hot plate and toaster oven and stuff. I'm trying to bring them back in now because fall is coming, but it's so demoralizing to go in there and see that with all I've tried to do with boric acid and everything else to still see cockroaches scurry away when I come in the kitchen. Um, I'm a very good cook, but it's what's the point of trying? So my diet has been very bad for the last couple of months because I couldn't access decent groceries and because it's been difficult to cook. And last month, the landlord gets half my income, so he gets, well, close to half my income. And on a normal month, by the time I pay my bills, I've only got, maybe between $50 and $100 for expenses for the rest of the month. And that's for gasoline and everything else. Oh, plus, last month I have to have a post office box because they don't deliver mail to rural addresses, especially not to an RV park. So I have to rent a post office box, and that was another $30. And you see, so I have not had any money since the 8th of last month, and tomorrow my check finally comes in. But the man who repaired my truck, even though the bill was $300, he let me drive it away for $200 on the promise, my verbal promise, that I will pay him, drop by his shop once a month on the 3rd, and give him $25 for the next 4 months until I paid him off. But I hesitate to tell people these things because the only people I know are online, and because I'm a little, I want to keep my privacy as much as I have left, and my dignity as much as I have left, and this is a small town, and people gossip, and they're afraid of outsiders, so I only have like 2 people in town that I'm friendly with. And I try to tell people online that my life is challenging and difficult, and I hear things like, excuse me, that I'm lying, that if I were really poor, I wouldn't have a computer and I wouldn't have internet access. Well, I'm considered mobile homeless because I'm living in a vehicle that was created for camping trips, not for a permanent residence. It's a cheap, flimsy toy, and I have to live in it. I'm considered homeless, and the internet is my access to the outside world. It's how I can communicate. I even have a phone that plugs into it. I don't have a social life. I don't have access to resources. I don't even have a good way to shop unless I shop online or drive. I can only go for groceries once a month because it's about $20 worth of gasoline to get there and back, and I can't afford more than that to go grocery shopping. So it's the only way I can have a social life or any kind of community and stuff, but I'm afraid to tell people. 80% of homeless people in the United States have some sort of access to internet, either a phone or other internet appliance or via the library, public libraries or other, places like that, Wi-Fi hotspots. I have to pay for internet here. There is no Wi-Fi in my town, pretty much. So I do Minecraft because it's a way, like this seed, there's enough food. There's adequate shelter. There are animals. Since I moved out here from the last place I lived, I had 3 goats, and I don't know where they are. I have to assume they're dead. The people who were caring for them didn't do a good job. I had 20 chickens, and they're gone. I've had ducks, and they're gone. Um, I'm pretty much living like in solitary confinement, like I'm in sort of a jail here. I make it as pretty as I can. I've got beautiful things, and I do have my garden and my fish and my 3 cats and my dog Weasel, and I have a pretty happy life, but I don't have enough to eat, and I have 7 of 9 of the major symptoms of chronic malnutrition. I don't have any way to socialize with people except the woman who manages the Family Dollar down the road. Um, this month I almost ran out of drinking water. I don't drink the tap water here. There's too many minerals. I'm in a desert, and the water here is really bad, and it also contains natural arsenic. And I don't drink the water here, and I don't trust the water treatment in this town. This town's broke. They have nothing. So I buy water from a dispenser, a vending machine. It's 25 cents a gallon. Well, actually, if you buy 5 gallons, it's $1. So it's like getting a gallon free. But I almost ran out of drinking water this month. Got real close. So when I tell you that Minecraft is triggering for me, it's because I've been living under fearful, frightening, literally life-threatening conditions for many years now, and doing it with brain injuries and post-traumatic stress. And I've been really brave, and I've been really resourceful, and I've been really creative. But this Vex map, it's gonna really challenge me. Sometimes when I'm working over there, I'll pass that little fleecy box, and I'll think, oh my gosh, I'm on a real Vex map. It's a little overwhelming. Real life can be so frightening and so dangerous in my reality that the emotional triggers of fear and startle can be unhealthy for me. I have to be vigilant and alert and aware all the time. Now, some people playing Minecraft find the startle and stuff exhilarating and fun. I guess they don't have that in their real lives. Maybe they have pretty bland, simple, routine lives. But that's not true for me. I've always had a pretty hard life. I've been homeless off and on for most of my life since I ran away from home at 17. And I've never been affluent or well off. I had about 15 years of my life where I was more comfortable than I am now. And I've never had it this bad. Never, ever. Worrying about if I'm going to run out of toilet paper and how I'm going to make meals at the end of the month. And I have to pull my own teeth because I can't afford the dental clinic. And I hardly have enough teeth left to be able to chew food properly. Sometimes I choke on my food. So Minecraft, while it can be sort of an ideal world and very, very beautiful, I have real monsters in my life that appear out of nowhere and really wish me harm. So playing a game with monsters is sometimes pretty heavy. That's why the Vex map is, it's really brave of me to do it because I don't know, I mean, even though I watched a playthrough, I don't know what's going to happen to me. I've had to take a few days off from even playing it because, I'm going to go to his first dungeon with monsters in it, and it's called the Easy Noob Dungeon, and I don't know what to expect because I know it'll be more than a real Minecraft dungeon, and even those scare the snot out of me. So, just know that my reality is different than maybe a lot of you are familiar with, that I'm not lying about it, and that I need to tell the truth about my life because people need to know that there are folks in the modern United States of America who live in really desperate conditions of poverty. I live in what's considered third world conditions, and to tell you the truth, it's not becoming uncommon in the United States these days. I'm not alone. I mean, I'm alone, but I'm not like an aberrant statistic. I'm not like a freaky number of people. There are many people like me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.